She thought it was just another day at work, another chance to prove herself. But a single moment, a simple act of kindness, would soon uncover something far bigger than she ever imagined. In a world where being different is too often judged, her choice lit up the room and exposed an ugly truth many would rather ignore. What happened next wasn't just about her. It shook everyone watching. Was this fate? Or the moment that revealed who truly holds power? Her name was Maya, a young intern eager to prove herself in a company that barely noticed her. Every morning she arrived early, clutching her notebook, her smile hiding the weight of being the only black woman in the room. She worked harder than anyone, hoping effort would silence the quiet stares and whispered doubts that followed her. To most, she was invisible, just another face in the crowded office. But to Maya, every day felt like a battle she couldn't name. She tried to shake it off, convincing herself that hard work would be enough. Yet beneath the surface, tension lingered. She felt it in the way her suggestions were brushed aside, in how her presence was questioned without words. Still, Maya carried on, determined to rise above it. On the day that changed everything, she wasn't expecting anything unusual. Papers stacked on her desk, phones ringing in the background, footsteps echoing down the marble hallway. It was all routine. Until one moment, one unexpected encounter, forced her into the center of attention she never asked for. She had no idea that a simple act of kindness, something so small, would pull back the curtain on truths hidden in plain sight. The morning had been ordinary, but everything shifted the moment the front doors opened. A visitor stepped inside, an older man moving carefully, his eyes scanning the room but never locking on a single face. Maya noticed something others missed, the slight hesitation in his steps, the way his hands moved when words didn't come. He was deaf. Instinctively, Maya stepped forward. She'd learned sign language years ago, a skill she rarely used but never forgot. With a warm smile, she signed a simple greeting. "Welcome. How can I help you?" The man's eyes lit up. For the first time that day, someone saw him, not as a burden, not as an inconvenience, but as a person. Their silent exchange drew curious glances from the lobby. At first, just a few heads turned. Then whispers began. A receptionist leaned toward her colleague, smirking. A manager walked by, his eyebrows raised in disapproval. Maya felt it, the weight of being watched. To them, this wasn't just kindness. It was disruption. She was an intern, and interns weren't supposed to stand out. The whispers grew louder. Someone muttered, "Why is she wasting time?" Another voice, sharper, cut through the air. "This isn't her job." Maya's hands trembled, but she didn't stop. She couldn't. The visitor deserved respect, no matter who was watching, but then came the moment that twisted everything. A figure appeared at the top of the staircase. Suited, confident, commanding. The entire room shifted as if gravity itself had changed. Conversations fell silent. Every eye turned upward. Maya didn't recognize him. Not yet. To her, he was just another executive, another reminder of the hierarchy that never included her. She kept signing, guiding the visitor toward where he needed to go. But she could feel the tension boiling. The smirks had hardened into glares. The silence wasn't just uncomfortable, it was threatening. One manager stepped forward, his voice dripping with authority. "Maya, that's enough. Step aside." The command echoed through the lobby, sharp and humiliating. The visitor frowned, confused by the sudden hostility. Maya froze. Her heart pounded. Every instinct screamed to obey, to fade back into the shadows where she was expected to stay. But another voice whispered inside her, "If you stop now, he'll remember their cruelty, not your kindness." The air was thick with expectation. Co-workers stared, waiting for her to shrink back. The manager's eyes narrowed, daring her to continue. And somewhere above, the man in the suit watched silently, his expression unreadable. Maya knew she had seconds to decide. Would she step back into invisibility? Or risk everything by standing her ground? The choice she made in that instant would change not only her future, but the way the entire company would be seen. The manager's words sliced through the air again. Step aside. His tone wasn't just commanding. It was dismissive, the kind reserved for people they never expected to matter. Maya's pulse thundered in her ears. She looked at the visitor, the man who had trusted her to be his voice when no one else cared. His eyes searched hers, confused, vulnerable, silently asking, "Will you leave me too?" And then she did the unthinkable. Maya raised her hands and kept signing. Calm, steady, defiant. Gasps rippled through the lobby. A few employees exchanged stunned looks. The manager's face flushed with rage. "You're finished here," he hissed, loud enough for everyone to hear. But before Maya could respond, the suited figure at the top of the stairs began to descend. Each step was heavy with authority, the kind that silenced rooms without a word. The crowd parted, their stares now flickering between Maya and the man they clearly feared. When he reached the floor, the manager straightened, suddenly nervous. Maya glanced up, her chest tight, finally realizing who he was. The CEO. The silence was unbearable. Every second stretched, thick with judgment. Would the CEO see her as a troublemaker, or as someone daring to break an unspoken rule? Maya's breath caught. She had risked everything, her job, her reputation, her dream, for one act of kindness. And then, he spoke. Just 3 words. Words that froze the entire room and made Maya's heart drop into her stomach. "Explain yourself. Now." The room held its breath. Maya stood frozen, the weight of every eye pressing down on her. For a moment, she feared the CEO's words were the end of everything she had worked for. But then, something unexpected happened. Instead of repeating the manager's order, the CEO turned to the deaf visitor. He watched Maya's hands move, watched the man's face soften with relief as he understood. And then the CEO looked back at his staff, not at Maya, but at everyone else. His voice cut through the silence. "She's the only one here who remembered what this company should stand for." The lobby erupted into whispers. The manager stepped back, his authority shattered. Maya's heart raced, but this time it wasn't from fear. It was from the shocking realization that doing the right thing, even when it felt dangerous, had exposed a truth no one could ignore. For Maya, that moment changed everything. She wasn't invisible anymore. She was proof that courage could expose injustice in ways silence never could. But beyond her, the incident revealed a larger truth. Too often, people like Maya are doubted, dismissed, or silenced, until a single act forces the world to confront what it would rather look away from. This story isn't just about an intern or a CEO. It's about the choices we make when we witness injustice. Do we stay silent because it's safer, or do we risk something to remind the world of our shared humanity? Because in the end, racism doesn't end with policies or statements. It ends when ordinary people choose to act. So I'll leave you with this question. When the moment comes, will you stay quiet? Or will you stand up like Maya?